Hi there. Today we're diving into one of the biggest mistakes women make when trying to fix their hormonal health. And that is taking advice from random strangers online. If you found yourself scrolling through forums, watching endless TikTok videos, or taking hormone advice from people you barely know, stick with me here. And I do realize I am probably one of those people. But we're going to shake up your perspective a little bit here because I have made this mistake in my past, and it's something I do a lot of work to repair the damage of in so many of my clients. So let's get real. Would you ever take financial advice from someone you just met in a coffee shop? Or better yet, would you let a stranger in a grocery store tell you how to parent your child or your dog? Of course not. But when it comes to hormones and health, so many of us are doing just that. We are taking in every piece of advice we see on Instagram or in Facebook forums, applying it without a second thought, which is so scary in so many cases. And then we're confused when it doesn't work, but there's a reason why it doesn't work. So before I go any further, let me share a really interesting number with you that might surprise you. 80% of the health information on social media has been found to be misleading or outright false. 80%. I almost would increase that number from the amount of stuff that I see that I'm like, oh goodness, that just makes me cringe for people that are going to follow that. So think about that for a second. Those little tips and tricks and eat this food or take this powder, this is going to fix everything. Every, 8 out of 10 of those tips to balance your hormones, they're wrong. It's probably not going to work for you, or worse, it's going to make things worse. For example, there are countless stories out there about women who saw an influencer say something like, just drink spearmint tea twice a day and it'll lower your testosterone. Or just take this supplement and it will get rid of your estrogen issues. But what happens? Maybe it helps a little bit, and maybe it doesn't. But without addressing the root cause of that high testosterone or imbalanced estrogen, could be stress, it could be diet, it could be inflammation, it could be something else entirely. That problem is sticking around and it eventually comes back even stronger. Or worse, it starts to cause issues elsewhere in your body that then pop up as all these confusing symptoms that you try to address or fix on a symptom by symptom basis. And that's where we get in so much trouble. So, why is it that we trust these strangers with our hormone health? Why are we looking for fixes on TikTok or in Facebook groups? Well, the answer is really simple, I believe, because we so much want easy solutions and we don't want to do the work. And we have been ingrained to believe that taking action on our health is going to be painful, restrictive, depriving, difficult, challenging, time consuming. So we want something fast. We don't want to completely overhaul our entire life just to improve our energy or to banish PMS. We want those things. But when it comes to the stories that we've learned to believe about nutrition and health and exercise and lifestyle factors, it just seems like so much work. And I get it. I have been there. We've also been gaslighted by doctors and health professionals. We've gone through the rigmarole of all the lab tests, not just the medical lab tests, but the functional medicine tests and the like at home saliva tests, and everything comes back normal. Or we're put on a treatment and it makes things worse. That happened to me with my estrogen levels. When I tested them, I was told my estrogen was too low. So I was on an estrogen boosting supplement about 6 weeks after that test. And then all of a sudden, I just started gaining weight and my skin broke out and I got really exhausted and I couldn't tell why. And it took me about 10 days to be like, oh my goodness, I am in a state of massive estrogen dominance all of a sudden. It was horrible. And it took a long time to reverse that once I stopped the supplements, and I stopped them almost immediately there. When it comes to hormones, there are no shortcuts. There are no hacks that will override the complexity of your body. However, there are very simple ways to use food, exercise, lifestyle, mindset to support that goal of balancing and optimizing your hormones. You just have to find them. Now, I worked with a woman named, I'm going to kind of call her Sarah, who had spent years trying every online hormone hack that she came across, or so it seemed. She drank detox teas, she did celery juice cleanses, she tried cutting out entire food groups like carbs without really understanding what that meant. And that made her so exhausted and bloated and sick and just felt horrible. She bought so many supplements, mainly the ones suggested by rando people on Facebook groups. But then every time she'd do these changes, it was a cycle. She'd feel a little bit better, and then the symptoms would come raging back. By the time she came to me, her body was beyond tired and she felt defeated and like she was too broken to even fix. And she was just kind of wanting to give up. Well, the kicker, after 1 month of actually understanding her unique needs and addressing her unique root causes, she saw more progress than she had in years following random tips. And she said and found this to be a super simple way of living, eating, moving, and taking care of herself. And I'll give you an example of myself. When I enrolled in holistic nutrition school, I knew I was going to learn a lot. And I even fell into this trap. I wasn't asking random strangers at this point what to do for my health, but it was a 16-month program. And the most important parts that I learned happened around months 12, 13, and beyond. So consider this, I'm a newbie student in holistic nutrition. I'm starting to absorb all this new information about nutrients and how it can help turn on healing properties in the body. And I get really excited about it. And I start making my little lists like, oh, I have those symptoms. Maybe I need to take more iron. Oh, I have those symptoms. Maybe I need to take this herbal remedy. Oh, I have those symptoms. I need B6. Like it just became this laundry list of supplements. And within 2 months, I had made myself so bad. Before that, I had started to figure out how to get rid of my chronic fatigue. Well, that all came raging back. I had lost weight, started to gain weight. I couldn't sleep. My insomnia came back. I just felt like I was so off and I got lost. I remember standing in the kitchen being like, I'm on so many supplements and I'm doing all these things. Like, I don't even know where to start to fix this problem. So I've been there. I've been there feeling like there's got to be an easy fix. Let's just try this. Let's just try that. Let's just try this. And I personally can tell you that that is just not the way to safely and sustainably reverse hormonal issues. Now, my story, her story, this is really common. And I'm here to say, don't let yourself become Sarah or me. Random advice will only delay the real solutions that actually help you improve your hormone status long term and in an easy, effortless, stress-free way. Hormones aren't like a light switch. And I think that's where we all are led astray, where we think that, oh, my estrogen is off, so I'm just going to pop this supplement and it's just going to magically bounce back to where it's supposed to be. Hormones don't act like that. Supplements and nutrients also don't act like prescription drugs, where, say, you have a really bad headache and you take your pill and you just almost instantly feel better, or you've been put on anti-anxiety medication. And I've never been on it, but I'm told that the women that take it, it's a pretty fast like switch, almost like a light switch, and all of a sudden you feel better and you notice when you don't take it. Well, hormones don't act the same way, and supplements and the herbals and all of that don't act on hormones like that. They just can't be turned on or off with a new tea or a supplement. It's just not how they work. Think about it like this. Hormones are like an orchestra. If one section or instrument is out of sync, let's say your thyroid, your adrenals, cortisol, insulin, your entire symphony sounds off and you struggle with all kinds of random, weird, seemingly not connected symptoms. So if you've ever seen an orchestra that is missing one piece or somebody's off, you know how complex it is to get that sounding perfect. This is the same for your hormones. This is why quick fix advice from social media is a problem for women, especially women in perimenopause, because our hormones are fluctuating all day, every day for years. We have one instrument that's off and we're trying to fix an entire orchestra. It's not going to work. What you actually need is an understanding of how your unique body functions. where your specific imbalances lie, and what tools will support your overall hormone health. So let me ask you this. How much time and energy have you spent already following random advice online? And how far has it gotten you? If you were to be honest with yourself, how much time have you essentially wasted trying and failing, trying and failing, trying and failing? For me, it was years. Now, what would your health look like if you invested that same time, one block of time, not all that time, because you're not going to need it, but that one specific point in time, you're like, okay, I'm going to commit to this meal plan for the next 30 days. What if you invested that time into something that meant getting to know your body's unique needs so that you could now choose the foods that your body needs, choose the exercise types that work for you, and just know intuitively and simply and without stress how to improve your health and rebalance those hormones? What if instead of patching up symptoms with trendy supplements and expensive juice powders, you focused on the foundational changes that supported your body in a way that lasts, in a way that actually reestablishes a really healthy, balanced homeostasis within your body and hormones, and allows you to just freely enjoy food you love while supporting hormone health and turning on your innate natural healing abilities. So if you are ready to start seeing real results, it is time to break up with the surface level advice and commit to digging deeper into your own health and finding out what you need. It's time to start thinking about your hormone health, and not as something you can fix with a single tip or supplement, but as an investment in understanding yourself at a root cause level. This will be game changing, and it will open up so many food and exercise and lifestyle opportunities for you. When I used to think I needed to follow a meal plan or a diet or some challenge, I felt really restricted in what I was allowed to eat. When I understood what my body needed and got that list of foods, like, here are all the foods that you can eat now that your body needs, it was like it quadrupled the amount of food that I had in my life. And foods become more delicious. It's so much easier for me to go eat out because I have so many options and I know what works for me. This is what you can get too. So I want to challenge you to stop scrolling for answers and start building that foundation that your body actually needs. Stop letting strangers dictate how you manage your health and start listening to what your own body is telling you it needs. This is really where it all begins. What does your body need? The bottom line is, if you want lasting health, if you want those hormones balanced, if you want to ditch the perimenopause, weight gain, fatigue, brain fog, mood swings, low sex drive, headaches, aches and pains, PMS, bloating, heavy, frustrating, embarrassing periods, and you want to truly feel amazing and radiant and like yourself again, confident in the clothes you wear all month long, and not just feel that way for a week or a month, but for the long term, you need more than quick advice from strangers. You need a strategy or a plan that is tailored to you, to the complex, unique orchestra of your own body. All right, thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video. If you have any questions or comments, post them below, and make sure to grab my free perimenopause hormone repair guide to help you get started in overcoming some of the damages that have happened due to past diet and nutrition concepts and culture.